You are.
Drop the F-bomb.
PBKC is your entertainment destination for poker, table games, OTB, Paddock live events, and exceptional eats. The Paddock restaurant is perfect for meetings, corporate functions, parties, fundraising, and more. Call 561-683-2222 extension 199 and book your next event today. Feast in Football is back in the Paddock. Get ready for touchdowns and tasty bites every football Sunday during the regular season. Enjoy a $25 all-you-can-eat buffet plus one draft beer, or get it free when you place a $25 or more live bet on the Hard Rock Bet app at PBKC. Featuring 140 HD TVs, 3 giant screens, and a full bar. Bring your crew, place your bets, and pile your plate high. This is how Sundays were meant to be.
It's Wednesday morning. It's 10 a.m. It's time for PBKC Picks broadcasting live right here at Palm Beach Kennel Club in West Palm Beach, Florida. My name is Mike Jameson. To my left, Earnest Christian.
What up?
To my right is Noah Carbone.
How you guys doing today?
Stage
I
left.
don't know how I'm going
to
match Earnest energy today.
I'm good. I'm really confident, actually, to be honest.
I'm fired up. Eagles didn't even play this week, and I got a lot to say.
He's got a lot to say. And we have a lot to talk about with the NFL, but we're going to wait a little bit to talk about that because Pat Rooney's going to be on the show in just a little while. So instead of starting with the NFL, we're going to start talking about Feast in Football, which is what we talk about for every single Sunday now through January 4th. It is an awesome all-you-can-eat buffet for $25, or that buffet is free with $25 or more bet placed day of at PBKC.
Has a fandom taken over that? You know how that happens, like where fans start, like, is there any team that's starting to flock? I know the Steelers, that's a low-hanging fruit.
Packers too, same thing.
But, this is a spot, like, if you had your group, right, and you were, like, say, like a really bad, like the Browns, like a bad team, like, the Giants.
We always go for the Browns.
This is where you come and you bring your group here, and then you make it like your own.
I miss those days, though. I remember back in the day, I used to go to a place called Gatsby's that had like a Giants bar back in the day.
The one on over on
so come in here and
Village.
make it. Somebody take over the feast.
That'd be great.
Like bring your team in here, like some weird team, like the Arizona Cardinals,
like the Vikings or something.
The Vikings, like a team nobody likes.
You joke with the Browns. There's a lot of Browns fans out there, bro. I'm telling you.
Like bring your obscure team, bring them in here and take over the feast.
That'd be awesome, though.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And that's every Sunday in the Paddock, starting at 11:30.
You mean Raiders?
Raiders.
Raiders.
No,
they would just tear the place up.
Are you done with them now? Are we done picking
them?
Are we done picking them for the rest of the year?
What?
Are we done picking them for the rest of the year?
I'm not going to pick them anymore. Now that they got rid of Jacoby Myers, I'm not picking him.
And you get it for free with a bet, right, Mike?
Exactly. I got to just make the $25 bet right there on the app. Show us, and you're going to get that buffet for free. Now let's look at our CBS Pick'em contest for this week.
I wasn't able to follow how I did.
Sully strikes again.
At the top of the list, he wanted me to say something about him. Patrick Sullivan. Congrats, buddy.
Sully.
There you go. All right, congrats. On to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Where's Noah? Second today? Second?
Yeah. Nine picks is solid.
With Megan, Lexi,
I mean, it was like all of us were up there.
Tough.
Jake was up there. I was up there.
Jake and Josh.
I was even up there.
Who won the buffet? Forget all of us.
Ian Allville. Congrats to Ian Allville.
Congrats, Ian.
He actually is leading the entire season with 81 wins on the season.
Maybe he should take Ernest's spot on the show.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Ian, please send us your app.
Yeah.
I had a bad week, though. This was a terrible week for me.
Yeah. Ian wins the all-you-can-eat buffet in the Paddock. He can use
Ernest's spot on the podcast.
And Ernest's spot on the podcast. We got the chair open for you.
Yeah.
He's keeping it warm as we speak.
Very warm.
Congrats to Ian. He's leading the charge with 81 wins on the season. We have got a good show coming up this Friday night. There's still a couple of tickets left for that, too. And it's called Beer for My Horses. It is a Toby Keith tribute.
You have cowboy hats. Like, if I went, can you lend me one?
Remember I used to be a cowboy?
I remember you used to be a cowboy.
Remember that?
Yeah,
I can't wear one. My head's too big.
Yeah, you were literally the country guy who worked at the rap station.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah, no, it was weird. It was a weird dynamic.
Are you serious, country guy?
Yeah, I used to sing country music back in the day. Yeah. Toby Keith is not, wasn't my thing, but this show.
I know his songs. Give me his number one. What would it be?
Like Who's Your Daddy? You got a bunch of these different songs. Should have been a cowboy. And
I mean, I know Toby Keith. I don't know
he had many hits. And this is one of the best tributes you're ever going to see. They're going to bring the energy. They're going to bring the authenticity. It's going to be amazing. And something that we're going to do that we've never done before is a barbecue dinner.
This is this is the shortcut. I keep saying this is underrated. The shortcut this is, instead of all the stuff where you're like, where we're going to go to dinner, time it to get to the show, or you end up leaving the show and there's nowhere to eat. This fixes all that. Just this is date night. This is the one.
Yeah, you can't beat it. You're going to come in. You're going to get a great barbecue 3-course meal, and you're going to get a fantastic show. And that's all coming up this Saturday night. So Saturday night show.
Ribs,
a lot of people want to say, "Oh, Friday night I'm busy." Well, this is a Saturday night show, so there's no excuse not to buy tickets right now. Beer for My Horses, Toby Keith tribute in the paddock this Saturday night. And then the next Friday night, we have Start Me Up.
Go, Earnest.
They're absolutely fantastic.
Although I do think they're very overrated, in my opinion, Rolling Stones.
Well, thanks a lot. We really appreciate that when we're trying to talk about a show.
As a music snob,
Ian again.
Personally.
Ian, please
Ian, come on down, man. I ruined it already. Ian, come on down. You're the next contestant on the PBKC.
I bet you Ian sings just like Mick Jagger, too, and dances like him, too. So thanks a lot for that, Ernest. But all those dinner shows and comedy shows in the paddock, you can get those tickets at pbkennelclub.com. There's no better place. Hard Rock Bet has a great offer out right now where if you win your first bet, you're going to get some additional bets. And what you have to do is make a deposit of at least $10 and place a cash wager of $5 or more. If your first bet wins, you're going to receive $150 in bonus bets, and that's credited as 6 separate $25 bonus bets, and they expire 7 days after they're issued.
It is fun when you win, but when I lose, like I had a bad week this week.
There you are again. Way to upsell. I literally missed. I was out of the area and I couldn't get on my Hard Rock Bet app, and you know football's rolling around. And I'm like, all right, let me cook up some of my parlays. I was just out of the area. It was hard, and I missed it. And I'm glad I could get back.
I had some wins. I got to say I had some wins. The worst thing, I went to sleep when the Heat were playing the Lakers. And I woke up. I had the under on the Heat and the Lakers, and the Lakers went
some overtime.
So I woke up in the morning. I think to myself, you know what? I had to have won this bet. I know the Lakers won. The Lakers scored one more point than I needed them to, and I lost the bet. So that was my bad beat of the weekend.
Can I talk about a good beat? I cooked one up last night.
Cook it up,
for no
man.
reason. Steph Curry over 4.5 3 balls, which also facilitates his ability to score more than 26 points because that goes hand in hand. I figured that out myself. Like if he shoots 5 3 balls, I'm probably going to get a lot of points.
Really
I hit that, and then Golden State, I bet like $2 and I won like 9.
You see, that's the play in the NBA.
Wild.
I don't necessarily enjoy betting spreads on the NBA. I love the props. That's where it's at. The props, especially this early in the year when teams are still trying to figure out who they are. It's a weird season, even in the NBA.
For $2, like what other entertainment you get for $2?
Yeah, my absolute favorite thing to bet is NBA games. I hit a parlay on a Magic game last Thursday night too. Betting unders, like unders on rebounds, that kind of stuff.
That stuff is cool. Like,
that's
props are better than spreads, in my opinion.
I love props.
And you can find a bunch of nice ones there.
I'm a positive guy, though. You're betting unders, like, for guys to fail. Like, are you?
I agree with you.
Like you,
I'm with Noah here. I agree. I'm with Noah here.
When we leave here, are you like, are you hoping I trip and fall down the stairs?
I think all of us are hoping.
I hate, bro. In any sport, I hate betting unders because like you want to sweat. Don't score. Don't score.
That's weird.
I want points.
No, I like that.
You're like the guy at the crap table, right? Where like they're not trying to roll a 7, right?
Yeah.
And you don't even say 7 out there, and this guy's like, come on, 7. Like, you could really get yourself in trouble like that, Mike.
Yeah, I bet Rudy Gobert under 10 rebounds the other day. He had like 22 rebounds.
What are you doing?
That's what I'm like,
that's
you know what?
You get.
Can't do that anymore.
And that guy sniffs his 10 rebounds a game easy.
You deserve every bit of that.
You deserve to lose that. I'm sorry.
And we're marketing partners with Hard Rock Bet.
You know what we should do?
I
got an idea. Wait, I have all these ideas, genius ideas.
It.
Let's get the fans, let's see if they cook something up. Let's feature their cook up on the show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, come up
with
something.
That's a good idea. I love that.
So I have these ideas, and they just flow through my head, right? And here
Bring
they are.
Before Tuesday,
so what we'll do is we'll set something up. I'll get with production, and you could shoot it in before the show. Say, hey, give us, and we'll go. This is the cook up of the week.
Send us a bet. Yeah.
Genius.
Bring it in for
cook up of the week.
Yeah. Send it for Tuesday.
Look at me.
Yeah. Send it in. Send it to any of us before Tuesday, and we'll put it on the show.
I love me.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Thank God somebody does.
What a great idea. The cook up of the week. Yeah, enough about our cook-ups. Let's hear what they're cooking up. Let's hear what Ian cooks up because he knows how to pick up.
Yeah, shout out to Ian again. He's going to be great on the show. And that's offered by Seminole Tribe of Florida. You got to be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMINUTE.
Off the rails 10 minutes in. I love it.
We're already off the rails. So why don't we take it farther and talk about the November multi-flight?
Okay, go ahead.
That is coming up starting tomorrow. I ran a flight for that yesterday, an actual satellite for that yesterday.
So we're into November. This thing starts getting out of hand.
It is. It's going to be huge.
I know it's a 100K guarantee. That thing starts pushing.
It's going to get big.
200.
I'm going to put – so, again, I can forecast things. Like
Champ stamp. Here we go.
I have ability. We're going to hit 200K, more than 200K this season, okay?
100%.
I mean, multiple times.
We haven't done that yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I've been a while.
Not recently, but
not recently. It's been a couple months ago.
Come on in and play this.
There's 5 flights. There's no excuses not to come play this.
Okay, so let's talking about betting, especially over-under. Over-under 143,000.
This week?
Yeah, this one.
Over. I'm going over.
I'm going over with that.
Okay.
I usually bet the under, but I'm going over at 140.
I'm glad you wised up now. Finally.
Yeah, Mike knowing that. Mike knowing that I sign off on a 100K guarantee is rooting for the under. He's like, I want under 100. Anything. He's like 87,000. So
if I knew you pulled it up, I didn't want him 50 in it. I wanted to be like 47,000, but that's not going to happen because this is one of the most popular tournaments in all of South Florida.
Best structure
so you
ever
understand how a guarantee does work. As much as you're making fun of it, if it was 47,000, we're paying the rest.
Of course we are.
It's
going to still be 100.
The Kennel Club, we've never, and you see facilities with a big guarantee, not, I hate to say it, they cancel it or whatever. We ate it one time, and I was responsible for that thing. Didn't taste good. But we paid that thing. We're paying that, so that's 100K. So, if you come in to win this thing, what is it, like 9,000 for first already? Yeah. But it's going to be way more.
So, best structure in all Florida. It is. I guarantee it.
And that starts tomorrow, 5 flights, 1 on Thursday, 2 on Friday and Saturday. Day 2 is on Sunday, and that is the November multi-flight.
And don't not play it because we have all your NFL games on the screens in that room.
That's
every single one.
You're going to see everything. You're going to see the college action on Saturday, and you're going to see all the NFL action on Sunday.
And you can bet.
While we're at it, let's talk about fantasy football. We have a little league going on here for fantasy football.
I actually won this week. I beat Butter this week, bro. Did you do that?
Yeah. Oh,
I love it.
Did you say anything when you saw him? That's
he told me. I forgot. He told me, hey, good win. I go, we can go win. He beat me. Like, okay.
So the Nerd Slayer he got a big win at 160 plus. That's pretty good. So he slurred the nerds that are the boys are Dak in town.
Yeah. Best name ever, dude.
That's a good
really,
name.
No.
That's a decent name.
Paul's perfect team because they don't have any players on the Dolphins anymore. He didn't get a win. May the Force pull that one out. So he had a good week this week.
Earnestly speaking, my God.
Yeah, earnestly speaking, he gets one. What's your record now, Ernest?
3-5, 3-6.
Yeah, that's about right for you. And then the Las Vegas Steelers.
I beat Wayne. He must have really been unhappy when he woke up on the.
That was tough.
Let me ask you a question here. Let's get to Noah's game. What year are we in now in football? We have 80 to 69 game.
See, that's terrible.
What year is this now?
Defense wins championships.
I agree. But what year are we in?
So just because we put up a defensive number, I had all my guys on bye. I put a patchwork team together. I gave them the rally speech before the game started, and here we are. So, hey. Nobody's going to remember. When I hoist that trophy at the end of this season, nobody's going to remember that I won this one.
What's your record now? 5-4?
I'm going to bet the under on that trophy.
Points, so I'm going to hoist it.
What's your record?
My record now is good. I don't have it. It's there.
3-5.
It is not 3-5.
I'm not going to brag. I am the top team in the league.
I've been ripping off some wins. I'm
leading the league right now. Me and Sal are tied to lead the league right now.
But I'm probably the most improved, and I'm on a roll right
now. You're the team that doesn't score at all, but you're just lucky the other teams are worse.
Genius champion,
Yeah, you've had a couple of wins where some of the other guys didn't set their lineups too, but I'm not going to say that
I gotta
live
say,
on the show.
Who saved me this week was Williams from the Bears.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Caleb Williams had a hell of a game.
I mean, that's insane. So without that, I lose.
Caleb Williams, truther, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm in there on the standings.
I need to get rid of Kyler Murray this
I
one.
don't even know how to use this thing. Like,
you don't even know how to use the app.
Well, I do, but it's just there's so much information on here. Anyway,
go hit My Team.
Okay,
there you go. Hit My Team, and then go to League up at the top right.
Okay, and then standings.
And then standings, and you're going to see Las Vegas
I'm
Steelers.
6-3.
He's learning how to use the app.
I am 6-3 right now. I am on fire.
You're hot right
You guys had me.
He's app challenge right now.
You needed to finish me off, and I won that Bunner game.
What are you, 6-3?
And I'm 6-3. You guys are in trouble now.
Yeah.
Well, I beat you.
Ernest is in almost dead last. He's in 11th place.
Somebody else did beat you, so whatever.
Yeah. So clearly, okay. So we have Mike Jamison and myself. Really, it's us that really know this stuff.
I wonder how good Ian is at fantasy football.
Oh, he's God, really?
Ian's really great at it. So let's talk about our stardom sit-em for this week.
I have this.
My stardom is Kyle Monangai from the Bears. He scored 22.8 last week. Okay. I'm going to start him again, and my sit is always going to be this guy because I had to start him last week because of bye week hell. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt of the Commanders, again screwed me over last week. So I'm going to sit him again. You're
talking about a guy. You might as well sit Earnest. I don't even – does that guy – is he good?
Well, he's the starting running back for the Commanders.
And now that Daniel's gone, they're going to lean on him a lot more now.
They are, and I'm still not going to start him unless I absolutely have to.
I'm not starting him because I don't even know who he is. I wouldn't start him.
Of course, I understand
you are.
So I have – okay, so here's where. So I take it to the next level. I know you guys throw
the next always the next level, yeah.
Right, okay. So the Judkins, Cleveland's going in to play the Jets, right?
Oh, God.
Okay, hear me out.
Mm-hmm. Good game.
And I pay attention to the transactions. The Jets were 7th worst team against the run in the league, right, coming into this week. Mm-hmm. They just traded their it's not even close, their best run stuffer, probably the best run stuffer in 20 years for the Jets. Mm-hmm. He's not there anymore. Judkins is going to go berserk.
Yeah.
He should start. If it's not, it's going to be Ford. Either way, start the Cleveland running back. He's going to have a field day. The Jets are not going to know how to play defense without that kid. And then for sit-em, I'm sitting Drake May. And for the fact that he's going down to Tampa, it's always hot and sweaty down there, and they got the cannons and all that crap, and he's going into that environment.
Your favorite stadium.
And for quarterbacks who haven't experienced Todd Bowles' defense, it's a problem, and I think this is what's going to happen this week, so I would sit Drake May.
I like your selections, actually. I do. My storm this week is going to be James Cook for the Bills against the Dolphins' crappy run defense, of course, because that's what they did. They get runs.
That's what they do.
Yep. And my sit-em this week might be a little controversial, but I'm going to sit the Niners defense against the Rams.
Okay.
The offense is cooking right now. Stafford right now is in the MVP conversation now. Yeah. So, yeah.
So somebody's asking who had the most points. So
I think Joey's. That's got to be Joey because he does.
So I have 917 points. The Vegas Steelers has 11,069. So Mike's up there. So 11,069.
That's Joey.
Oh, that's
Joey.
Self-promoting.
That's Joey Dolan.
He's self-promoting.
He's checking into the show.
Oh, that's Joey. Dude, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah. All right, my defense is out of this world. I have 917 points and I have 6 wins. So.
Yeah, I'm playing against Joey this week. It's going to be a hard-fought battle.
Boy. What's Joey's record? Is he like second place?
No, he's had some tough losses. He's scored a lot of points.
You know what?
He's 5-4.
Mediocrity.
That's just too bad.
Yeah, it's a shame. But hopefully he'll be paying attention to the multi-flight and not set his lineup or something this week. Because I'm going against Joey in fantasy football. But, that's one of the cool things about having a league with a bunch of the guys you work with.
You can make fun of them the whole time?
Make fun of them the whole time.
That's all you do.
So.
Yeah,
that's all you do, Nola.
That's really the essence. If you think about it, the essence of sports is so you can make fun of your friends, right?
Yeah.
Like, literally. My friends in New Jersey, Giants fans or whatever, and Scadaboo's leg goes, the wrong direction, and – we get to make fun of each other.
I will say, though, you do handle pretty well because people do pick on you all the time. So
he likes it, though.
You like it, though. You like that stuff.
You know why?
Because you're a man.
Because we're a winner. like we're winning Super Bowls. Yeah, have all the
fun
you want.
Listen,
I don't care.
I can't front. I cannot front on you. You nailed it.
Yeah. Does anybody even use that word front anymore?
Anyway, front.
Me.
Is that new?
Pat? Where's Pat?
Pat will be on the show very soon. He's going to be on the show very soon. But one of the things that we're going to talk about that Earnest loves talking about is the National Basketball Association.
You want to see something cool? Real quick.
Yeah, show it.
So Jeff from All Star Sports came through with the hookup for this a hobby box of Topps. So Topps,
that's good.
So everybody knows, and we're into cards here. Topps is coming back into the market for these sports now. And Topps basketball now is like the hot thing, and I'm gonna rip that thing, and I'm gonna get Cooper Flag.
When's the next card show, by the way?
December 14th.
December 14th. So so All Star Sports down in he's down by Hollywood, right?
Davey, Hollywood, something like that.
Jeff All Star. He has those in stock. So thanks again to them. But basketball, it's fun. Like I mean, the league. How crazy is it going right now? I mean,
it's been a really good year.
Yeah, we're going to show what Noah pulled last week on the next week on the show. But you know, right now in the National Basketball Association, the Oklahoma City Thunder are undefeated at 8-0. What do you have to say about them, Earnest?
I mean, it's impressive. Number one, they're doing this without the second best player in the team, Jalen Williams, who, by the way, is not just some guy. He's a guy that many people believe is a top 10 player in the league. Yeah. I had number 11 on my list when the year started.
Some player, like, you have a name like Shy, right? And like, it's easy to.
Shy was a good group.
The guy's name, John Williams. What's his name?
Jalen Williams.
Yeah, it's like Joe Smith.
And here's the funny thing.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have like LeBron James,
and Noah.
Kobe Bryant. Like, change your name.
And knowing that, you should. You know why?
Yeah.
There are two guys named Jalen Williams on the same team.
Yeah. Call yourself a nickname or something.
Yeah, come up with something.
But it's really impressive, though, because they're 8-0 without Jalen Williams, you know, and you start thinking about okay, 8-0 now. What's the future?
What's going to happen?
Is it possible?
You talked dynasty last year.
Is this possible? This team's better than they were last year? And let's not forget, this team won 68 games last year.
68.
68.
So again, you get Williams back in the fold. Are we talking 70 plus now going forward?
70?
I don't know, man, but this team.
a lot of wins.
What if it's 80? But no, bro. But this team, look, they just put their head down. SGA right now is the MVP runaway now, in my opinion. With him and Wemby 1 and 2.
Wemby, stop it.
But SGA is unbeaten right now, so that's what helps his case and doing a player. So this is a great team right now, and they're on the verge of becoming a dynasty the way it's going.
Isn't it great? So with these new stars coming out, so you try to the Cooper thing hasn't been great so far, not great, but like the Wemby, and you're like watching him, and it's like must-see TV now where you have to tune in. So the NBA is in a great spot with these players, and you have to foster this thing because I know the product was hurting a lot of different reasons. What do you think about the tournament?
I hate it.
Yeah.
No. Let me rephrase that. I don't hate it.
Okay.
I don't mind Adam Silver trying new things, but it has no purpose in my opinion.
It's not like soccer does that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Soccer does it. Where
I mean, I will say they've done a good job in making sure that thing does not disrupt the season. It has not disrupted the season, but at the same time, it's like, is it necessary? No, you don't need it, bro.
You don't need it, right? Like, you hoist that trophy. Is that even worth anything?
No.
Like, can you be like, what is this? What do they call it?
The in-season tournament.
All right, so you go to your
NBA
friends
Cup.
Be like, I don't care that you're the NBA Finals champions. We won the
in-season tournament.
Well, the people that win
NBA
the
Cup.
in-season, it doesn't ever reflect on the end of the year anyway.
Not at all. Because it's done so early in the year.
Exactly.
Do you get a watch or a ring?
They get a trophy and some money. That's it.
We're doing this wrong. Scratch that whole plan.
Yeah.
You know, one of the teams I'm actually very excited about is my team that I picked to win it all. It's not the Knicks. It's the LA Lakers.
Okay.
They are right now 6-2
Very
without
impressive.
LeBron, who's still off with a sciatica injury.
What does that tell? Okay, first off, get off the sciatica.
Yeah.
Like I probably had, I recovered
This
from
guy.
3. Since LeBron's been out, I recovered from 3 sciaticas.
Exactly.
I had one this weekend.
He's here.
I worked through it. I'm here. Get over it. Does he come back and
Ernest and I think Ernest
disrupts
thinks
the chemistry?
He disrupts the team.
What do you think, Ernie?
I think right now you can make a case. I think the sciatica thing with LeBron.
Yeah.
Is it real? Yes. Is he also leveraging this?
Yeah.
Also yes.
For what?
Just for a contract extension, maybe, you know.
Yeah, but meanwhile, your team is ripping off wins, okay? You're on the bench. Your team's ripping off wins. Be like, eventually you look over and be like.
This is my point. This is backfiring on him.
You know, that's why I don't try to take a vacation too long and, like, everything's going great. Like, eventually they're like, wait, do we need this guy anymore?
They don't need him.
So that's what you think about. You got to –
and
like, if I missed a show and the show but that's not a thing.
This is tough, though, because, like, LeBron, I don't want to knock LeBron. He's still great. He's still a top 15 player in the league right now at age 40.
15?
Yes.
Wow.
He is.
He's still a top 17 player in the league,
wow,
everybody.
You had him in the top 10 last year. Now he's 15.
Well, look at the young talent.
He's in the top 23 in the league
But,
this
I mean,
year.
He's in the top –
by age 40, it's pretty impressive,
He's in the 50th percentile.
You know,
Like, he were in math
there's an urban top 10. There's an urban top 10
plays.
also, too. But here's the problem. He's going to disrupt the chemistry there, too, also, because he's very ball dominant. And it's not, unless he takes a step back and becomes more of a passer and play more off the ball, this is not going to work. They're not any much better with him anyway.
I love Luka.
And even with their good start, I love Luka too. Yeah. Even as good start they've had, the Lakers are still not better than the fallen teams in the Western Conference. They're not better than OKC. They're not better than Houston. Not better than San Antonio. And not better than the Clippers or the Nuggets.
Luka could be a good face. Like he has a good face. You know what I'm saying? You know, people have nice faces.
He whines too much, though. My taste, though, but he's a great player.
Whines too much. LeBron was the face of the thing for years, and look at him.
Face of wine.
And there's
like he should be sponsored by Bartles and James. Wine.
And there is LeBron fatigue right now.
Yeah,
so
I'm tired of it.
Yeah. So I think the leveraging thing did not work. The Lakers don't need him, and at this point, if you're the Lakers ownership, you ride this out. I mean, you can trade him.
Where's he going?
But here's the problem, though. No trade clause. He has that, number one. And number two, how many teams are willing to take on a 40-year-old who's still really good, but gutting their roster for that guy who could retire in a year or two? That's a risk.
He should retire. He's 40-something.
No, he's 40.
His big toe is on the other side of his little toe. Like, you ever see this guy's feet? Like, he is
Here's what's clear.
It's
literally
you're
not in the right spot.
Yeah.
Like, you got it. We're going to bring a picture next time, but just retire.
Noah.
Go see your podiatrist and get this thing straightened out.
Here's what's clear.
Cut it off.
Here's what's clear, but no. This will be his last year in L.A. Everything beyond this year is up for grabs.
He needs to. That's it. Okay, we need to be done.
This is it, LeBron. If you're listening to the show right now.
That's it. We're calling it.
Call it, buddy.
Yeah.
The Kittle played, too. He slam dunked it the other night. That was amazing. Bronny.
All right. You see the other kid? Like, they got another kid now. He's coming up. He's going to be
Bryce.
all right.
Oh, Bryce. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he had.
Is he better than Bronny?
He dunked on somebody. He did somebody dirty.
Low bar, of course. I don't
think
think Bronny's that good personally. That's my opinion.
No, he's not. He's terrible.
Yeah, Chicago Bulls are doing well. They staged a 24-point comeback to defeat the 76ers.
That hurts.
That's huge.
So, okay, I'm an Eagles fan, right? And I was also born into the Knicks fandom. But I find, they get crossed over when you root for one team, and I know it's weird, but I root for the Eagles, but then I start getting the Sixers feelings, like where everybody gets excited, and that trickles over. And the city gets
the Heat and the
when it's the Heat,
same thing.
Everybody get.
I'm a Heat fan, but I like the Dolphins.
It trickles over negatively, but you start getting this momentum where you start and you want to buy into it, and the Sixers have some pieces in place, and I'm hoping with that kid, maybe I'll get him in here if I get that kid.
He's in that box somewhere.
He's actually, if I had to invest in a sports card, I'm investing in that kid. Like
I'll take the guy on the front still.
Well, here's the thing too. Also, I mean, the issue now is Joel Embiid. He has not looked good. He does not look good.
He can't jump. He can't move.
He looks terrible, dude. And here's the problem: they are stuck with that contract for another 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you can do there. They have a lot of problems. But the positive thing is that they have the last two drafts they have nailed. The McLean kid from last year, I think he's still out right now, but he had a great run until he got hurt last year. Yeah. And now the Edgecombe kid. So those two guys and Maxey, they are in a good spot right now.
Oh, I got the Tyrese Maxeys. I got to dig those up. I got heaps of that kid.
Oh, really?
You got to dig those up.
Nice, interesting.
So Golden State had a big win last night. Stephen Curry has
I had
flu.
that.
He's probably not playing tonight, and Jimmy Butler is hurt too.
How do you get that news so fast, Mike? Like literally, he played last night.
I texted him.
He mashed my parlay and I crushed it on Hard Rock Bet app.
I'm upset about that.
$2 to win, $8.90. Crushed it.
That's a lot of money.
And then he wakes up this morning and calls you and tells you he has a flu. Like, how do you know this already?
Yeah, he texted me.
The game was on the West Coast. It ended at like 12:30.
Yeah, he texted me before he went to bed and told me he had the flu,
so he's
I
out
could
tonight?
talk about it on the show.
They weren't playing tonight.
He's probably not going to play tonight.
Wait, back-to-back games?
Yeah.
I thought they did away with that in the NBA.
How about this? I go to sleep last night at like 12:30.
Okay.
And halftime just hit for the national game on Peacock between the Clippers
they got these 11 o'clock games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about.
Getting old,
I'm
guys.
like, bro, like
you guys are smart enough. Why is that? Let me hear. Why is it what? Why is there 11 o'clock game?
I don't know why.
Well, you don't know why?
Because it's West Coast.
West Coast, obviously, but
why? At 8.
But
so you can cook up parlays on the Hard Rock Bet app. It's for the betting, so you could go on, and that's why they do it.
Now I got it.
It's for the entertainment. So when you blow it, like you pick all your parlays early for the early games, and you stink at it. You could get at 10:59 p.m. You could cook something up and save your day on the Hard Rock Bet app.
Yeah,
save your day.
It's nice when you're doing terribly and you look up and there's an NBA game.
You jam SGA, you jam James Harden last night. Yeah, I mean,
you bet the under on everything.
It makes sense.
This stuff is easy.
It makes sense.
We're rooting against everybody.
Hard Rock Bet app.
Under.
Yeah.
I'll be back this weekend, I promise.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So John Morant, he got suspended for one game.
This guy.
If this guy didn't have his off-court stuff, I don't think what he's done is that terrible. That's just my opinion. But if he didn't have all these off-the-court troubles and all these things that he's done in games, he could have been the face of the NBA.
Well, he was trending that way in 2021. He was the guy marked as the next guy.
His basketball hasn't been great.
And now you're hearing word that he could be out of there within the next year or so. So who knows, man? It's a big contract, obviously. He's a really, really good player, man. But he's also a high-risk, high-reward player. Not even so much off-court stuff, even on the court.
Who would you? Okay, so he has a talent, right? And and when you pick a player for your team, I've always been of I had a thought process of make sure this person is a good person, okay? Like I kind of shy away from the guys who are having 4 kids at the same time that are all going to be born by 4 different. Like I shy away from some things because you're making some life choices probably where people don't agree with you. I don't think Cardi B. Who's in that mix?
Unless it's Phil Rivers, of course.
Stephon Diggs.
Okay, yeah, but Diggs, and then he has a singer. Like, okay, so Jaws like guns and like all this stuff.
He likes that lifestyle.
You have everything in the whole entire world in front of you. Every single thing. Everything.
The problem is it's the environment you're raised into, and then unfortunately, like
I get that.
You have to make decisions to cut away from that as you get into that world of I'm the face of the league. I need to not hang out with these kind of people anymore, which I understand.
Listen, I grew up on the mean streets of Tuckerton, New Jersey.
I don't know about
what.
that. I don't know if they were that
talking about. Where?
At some point, okay, and I get a gigantic contract. I hire a guy. You know what I do? I hire a guy.
Big Dom.
And Big Dom's
the best.
And he follows me around, and he makes sure I don't get in trouble, and he drives me home if I go out to the club with Marchand, and he makes sure I don't bring guns to the airport and all that other stuff. And he does that for me. Just hire that guy.
A lot of it with Jaws is optics more than anything else. He hasn't done anything necessarily bad. It's just optics.
That's it. It's all
but that matters, though.
Yeah.
That matters.
If I were him, I would focus on absolutely dunking on somebody every single game, jumping over somebody and dunking it on their head.
That's what he really should do.
That's what he's good at.
Yeah.
Not talking. Don't talk.
Yeah, so that's what's going on with Ja right now. Memphis Grizzlies, that's Ja's team. Now we got the Pelicans. Zion Williams sidelined with a grade 1 hamstring strain.
He lost weight, though.
He did.
When the card thing, and I know I'm harping on the sports card thing, but when that thing took off, Zion was like, here's Zion. This is the guy. It's going to be the guy. And then he comes in like 5,000 pounds overweight or whatever, and he's sluggish or whatever. And that thing has just taken the path of who was that other guy? Odin or whatever. That just like we're like, okay, my feet hurt, like I'm too heavy, I can't stay in shape. Like he's not doing anywhere. What you have all these exciting players coming in, and you wish the best. And that one, I'm upset about. Like, and the injuries, the lower body injuries are terrible.
It's a disappointment here, obviously. I mean, and look, we've seen moments like when he's healthy. There's flashes here, like, and he'll. I remember 2 years ago, the first 2 months of the year when he was healthy. The Pelicans were actually a team that were looking at a contender.
No, they had a couple pieces.
And then he gets hurt, and then it's more about will for this kid. I mean, he did lose the weight, but let's see if he can maintain. That's the thing.
So, in other sports news, just over the weekend, the Los Angeles Dodgers repeated as the World Series champions.
I gotta say, I'm back in on baseball, and I know I'm not a big baseball.
It was really fun.
Man, did I have fun! I was watching a game, and I don't watch baseball. I admittedly, I'll dabble around in it. But, man, the nuances of way that Game 7 ended, the way the play after play
amazing
was some of the you couldn't probably script it from the play at the plate to the home run to pull ahead, all these bizarre things, double plays and all this stuff. What for lack of a better term, a home run for the Major League Baseball and the way that thing played out. That was amazing. Now,
it really was.
Okay, so we're going to get into the thing about the Dodgers, and you had on your little notes, how many can they win or whatever. Toronto took them to the brink. Toronto didn't have an over-the-top roster. They were playing great, and they played together, and they were
played
the bats
good baseball.
got hot at the right time. They played smart. They didn't make any mistakes, and they were right there. It's hard to win a championship in any league. Do not forget that. Do not forget you're talking repeat or three-peat. Do not forget.
You know it too well.
Right. And the Eagles are going to go in and repeat, and I'm going to manifest that thing. That's going to happen. But then when you get into the third and fourth, it gets a little tougher, especially in a okay, so the NFL is a little trickier because it's one game. It's a Super Bowl, but you have a 7-game series. They took them to 7, and they gave them everything they had. And, hats off to them. I know they were disappointed in how that finished up, but Man, Vlad, what a great job, Vlad.
Let's be clear, though. Toronto was one of those teams in the AL that we were all talking about, like, okay, which teams could represent the league?
Yeah.
And they're one of the teams we all mentioned, like the Yankees, Toronto, you get on the list.
But nobody had them taking the Dodgers to 7. Nobody had that.
Not even I.
That pitcher for the Dodgers, a closer.
Yamamoto? Wait. I mean, their star pitcher?
Yeah.
Well, he came in and he pitched all the that guy.
He was the MVP.
Ice water in his veins.
He deserved it. He deserved it.
Yeah.
That guy, you talk about a clutch. That guy, you see it, the guys he had to strike out.
Look what he did.
Yeah.
He put him on the board in Game 2 after we're down 1-0.
Yeah.
He did. Then he saved the series in Game 6, and then he wins the series in Game 7.
Yeah, and he pitched.
Unbelievable.
The pitching, I don't know if I saw a better sequence of pitching when he came in that game, and some of the stuff he was painting on those things, I'm like, how is he going to get out of this? And he just did.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Worth every penny.
I try not to be hyperabolic about these things, about like the best World Series ever.
Good.
You know, but because you need a couple of years to let this thing cook before you decide if it's the best. But I've watched 36 World Series in my life. This is probably easily top 3 for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking about the Twins and Braves 91. I'm thinking about the Dodgers and Astros in 2017. This one's up there.
Mets,
the
Red Sox.
Which one?
86. Remember that one?
I was 6 years old. I didn't appreciate the time.
Is that the last one they won?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
You were six years old.
But the emotional swings of the series is crazy. They go up 1-0, and then they're
barely out of diapers if you were.
Then
Maybe.
I was 6.
We don't know. We'll have to ask
I was 6. You know, and then you have the Game 3 thing where they go 18 innings, and you think Toronto's dead. Then they went 2 in a row in LA after that, and then you figure LA's dead, and then LA does what they do. And unbelievable series.
So that night, I'd been doing poorly and all my other under bets that night.
Cooked something?
So I had like $11.63 left on my Hard Rock Bet app. And when the Dodgers went down early in the game, they had some decent win odds, and I bet them to win at like plus 365. That's my favorite thing of
Do
all.
it when your team's getting their.
You got to do it when the teams are losing.
Live bets are amazing.
When they're getting the doors blown off, I've hit a couple on there. But like, I don't bet on the Eagles, but go ahead, God. It doesn't happen often, but get us down a couple of scores. But like, you know what? I don't believe this thing. This isn't real.
Exactly.
I bet it the other way. Man, what a feeling.
So I woke up the next morning with $61 in my account,
Very
and I was
good.
extremely happy.
Okay,
and now
I gotta
I'm
ask.
a Dodger fan.
You're a huge fan. You're a little. I don't know, weird. You're not. I don't think you're as passionate about your fandom.
I'm not as passionate.
Okay, so
about baseball?
Do
I
you
don't
ever?
cry.
No, your fandom for sports.
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
Do you ever find yourself? Okay, so. Do you ever find yourself where your team is destined, like getting ready to win something big, whether it's a big championship or a game that they really need to win in their head or whatever?
I don't think his
to
teams
bet
do
the
that
other
well.
way to hedge it, so in case your feelings get
I don't
hurt, you get cash
I don't bet
instead.
I don't bet at all.
I think that way.
I stay
Do
away.
you
I
get
stay
cash?
away.
Be like, you know what? The Eagles are up, 28-0 in the Super Bowl. If I bet $10 the other way and the Chiefs win, I get like $4,000. I don't win the Super Bowl, I get $4,000, and it's a win-win. Right?
But I see the logic, though.
Emotional hedge.
I see the logic
like
of that.
an emotional hedge.
I might do that in a regular season game, but in a championship game like that, for example, like I'm way too invested as a fan to even care about.
Oh, I got way more money. You couldn't pay me enough to not.
To me, the greatest bets, and we're going to talk about betting, and Hard Rock Bet it's so much fun because, especially in the NFL, when a team goes down early, what I did last Sunday is I hit 2 big bets. I hit one on the 49ers that went down early, and I hit one on the Denver Broncos that went down early. And,
Look at you.
And even though they're favored in a lot of those contests, when they go down by a touchdown or sometimes a touchdown or field goal, their odds are up there to the point where a $20 bet is awesome.
I'm a fan of that. So imagine if you could, back in the day, if we could add Hard Rock Bets when Tom Brady would be playing and he'd get down a couple of scores like
28-3.
That had to be like printing money.
That
fed small countries if you could bet Tom Brady coming back.
I would say existed back in 2017 to see what the odds were in that moment, 23.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. I'd say they were probably plus 800,
third
plus
quarter,
1,000.
late third quarter also.
All right, so here's what we'll do this week. Let's make a pact. So let's watch Sunday football. Whatever team at halftime is getting their butts kicked up and down the field, let's go ahead and cook up a parlay with the 2 teams getting their butts kicked to come back.
Yeah.
But it can't be the Dolphins because they can't win. Like they cannot
Like
come back.
Teams that you can see a scenario. The Dolphins, we don't see that at this point.
You have to have the offense to do it, and you have to have a quarterback who can play from behind.
Right.
So
Well, it's like when the Broncos and the Giants
Shut up.
what,
Shut
2,
up.
3
Shut
weeks
up.
ago.
Shut up. Shut up.
I mean,
Shut
that
up.
was the
shut
perfect
up.
example.
What kind of line could we have gotten on that thing?
My God.
I'm going to start
God.
tracking it.
It had to have been plus 1,200.
I am trying to forget that game, Mike. Oh God.
No, I know.
I'm out of it.
That's why I reminded it because
What's the guy's name that you wanted on the show?
Ian,
get on here now.
Come on, Ian. come on by. But it's that's how it is with betting. Sometimes you like those end game bets. But let's go ahead and start talking about the NFL now.
It took us only 39 minutes to get to the NFL.
Yeah, there is so much going on right now.
So much sports.
Yesterday, I was just watching the TV constantly.
Oh, man, I couldn't update X or Twitter, whatever you call it nowadays. I couldn't update it, refresh it fast enough to see what was going down. And then I was actually on a flight, and I couldn't get the information. And when I landed, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. Some huge trades.
All right, rip them off, Mike.
Okay, let's go over the trades from yesterday. Yeah. Sauce Gardner to the Indianapolis Colts. A blockbuster deal sent him to the Colts for 2 first-round draft picks, a 2026 first-rounder and a 27 first-rounder, and they got receiver Adonai Mitchell also. Now the Dallas Cowboys got Quinnen Williams.
Fire sale in New York.
That's the player that Noah was talking about earlier. Right. And then the Cowboys also got Logan Wilson from the Cincinnati Bengals. He's a veteran linebacker.
Yeah, okay.
Seattle Seahawks got Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah.
He's a wide receiver that came from New Orleans.
Get to the best one.
Okay, I'll get to the best one. Jacoby Myers from the Raiders went to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I think he's on my fantasy
How you say that
team.
again? What?
Jaguars?
There you go. I love
okay.
It's losing my ears.
Draymond Jones went to the Baltimore Ravens. Kyle Duggar to the Steelers. Keon White to the 49ers. I think that's all, right?
No, you missed one.
Oh, did I miss one?
So I have Myers. This is good for me. I have Myers on my fantasy team.
So on Monday morning, I got to work and I saw Jalen Phillips went to the Eagles. The Eagles also got Jair Alexander from the Ravens.
I'm going to say it again. Howie Roseman is the best executive in football.
Unbelievable.
And there's not a close second.
Yeah, I was concerned that Greer was gone in Miami only because the Eagles have been using the Dolphins as a farm system for years.
They have.
Like, literally, so this guy steps right in and literally gives us their best, in my opinion, their best defensive player that they had on that team. Yeah. Like, we have him. And you look at his production numbers or whatever, and you're like, not. When he had Wilkins pushing up the middle and he was able to play the edge, it was a totally different game. You're going to see some stuff in Philly now. He was the piece that we needed. We needed a bookend there, some guy with a high motor like he is. And when you have the guys with the interior push that the Eagles do between Davis and Carter and him coming off the edge, look out. It's a whole new world. I'm thrilled. I am absolutely thrilled.
You should be thrilled. You should be thrilled. This team is, Howie does it again. He just rabbit on his hat. But to me, the biggest winner of this whole trade deadline for me is the team that was trading off parts, the Jets.
The Jets.
They got everything that
That was what Miami was supposed to do.
If you're trying to rebuild, this is how you rebuild. They now have 5 first-round picks for the next 2 drafts.
No, Miami has limited resources left. They have their cap space is terrible. Like they don't have players. So you trade Phillips, you get a third for him. Okay, you had a chance to trade your running back. Where you could, in my opinion, if somebody's going to trade you and give you picks for a running back, you
just
take
that.
You're going to put somebody else back there. You'll be fine. Get Frank Gore back there. Whatever you got to do, put somebody in there. They'll run the ball. They can handle that. But when you have an opportunity like this, so the Jets are stockpiling these things. Now everybody's saying, well, they're going to do Jet things and they're going to blow it anyway.
You still got to try. You still got
to hit. But, okay, Sauce Gardner, his contract is outrageous, so you unload that. So you have the teams that – this is what happens when you have the teams that have momentum and teams that don't. So Philly they had all this draft capital. They could expend one to pick a guy up.
Yeah.
The genius that happens in these things, and I don't know why the general managers don't do this more. Okay, so we pick up Phillips, right? The Dolphins paid his whole contract. We're going to pay him $500K, right? So you take that out of petty cash for an NFL team, $500K.
Yeah.
That's literally what Philadelphia pay him. When the season's up, we gave up a 3rd-round pick. If he doesn't sign with us and we don't want to sign with him, he goes away, we get a 4th-round compensation pick for that. Why don't NFL teams do this more? It's like why aren't you using all these tools in the build? So essentially, you would get a 1-year rental of Phillips for $500,000, and from a 3rd to a 4th-round pick, you go down from 3rd to 4th. It's a no-brainer.
I'm surprised that there wasn't more big names that got moved. Like for example, like Jalen Waddle in Miami. Like the Dolphins are entering a situation now once the year's over that. They got a Tua contract they can't get rid of, and if they do, they have a $70 million cap hit coming up. Yeah. Okay, you got to start piling up all the assets now going forward. Any way you can.
It's too late. They missed the deadline. I don't know what they do now.
I don't know what they're doing. But also, again, they also have an interim GM too on top of that. So they fired. Maybe Greer would have done that had he had his job.
I could have got it right. There would be nobody left down there when I was done. I'd just get rid of anybody would give me picks for. I don't know if there's any one person on that team that I would salvage. Maybe Waddle, but
no, not even Waddle. Get rid of Waddle.
Yeah.
Waddle probably has the most value for any team. Even if you get like multiple second and thirds, just take it.
Yeah. See if somebody's going to overpay. If somebody's going to overpay, I don't care how attached you are. It's a business, and you got to put a product on team. Let the guy go and get the guy.
Okay, so now that you guys have been talking about the Dolphins, Chris Guerra is out as the Dolphins GM. Mike McDaniel is going to finish the season. Is there some kind of reasoning why they enjoy Mike McDaniel? Is there any way he continues as
there's a reason why. There's a reason why. This is smart by the owner here, because if they get the interim in for McDaniel, they'll rally behind him. They'll win a couple of games here, hurt their draft stock, and then all of a sudden you end up keeping the interim.
So you're saying McDaniel's so bad he's keeping him there so he loses the rest of the games?
Exactly.
That's interesting.
I think because you remember when. Who did they brought in Campbell that one year, remember?
Dan Campbell.
And he rallied everybody, and everybody's all fired up.
And they're terrible.
Yeah, my wife was on that bandwagon. She's like, this is great or whatever. And he was a rah-rah coach, and they started winning games, and now your draft stock slides. And,
correct.
I don't think that's the case with this. I think obviously for keeping Greer around for 20 years when this has been a mess in Miami, I think he's just too loyal to some of these guys. You got to win games. You got to produce. There's no scenario after this, McDaniel. There's no scenario where he's a head coach. You could write that down.
Right. And I think once they hire the new GM, I think he'll make the decisions there, and then they'll probably let go of McDaniel, and then they'll start from scratch.
Yeah, you can't have a feeble head coach.
Yeah, I agree. With ankles, you can see his ankles.
Yeah.
The
capris, whatever the hell you call that again. Who does that? Who wears things like
Mike
that?
McDaniel.
So we're going to talk about the big game that was last week. Bills beat the Chiefs 28-21. How did we feel at the end of this game? Is this something like, I know what you're going to say is that they got to do it in the playoffs,
That's
obviously.
Right. Do it in Buffalo. I mean, I got Bills fans coming down my throat on social media after the game. Like, listen, I like you guys. I want y'all to do well. But for the last 5 years, we have seen this, okay? Right. This story is played for the last 5 years. Do it in January. It's all I care about, okay? Now, bigger picture. Here's the thing with the Chiefs, though. The next two games. Well, okay. So the stretch here, you did lose to Buffalo. Your next two games. You got a bye week this week. You have Denver on the road and then Indy at home. If they go lose these next two games or whatever, they could be out of the playoffs altogether. Yeah. I'm still believing the Chiefs to bigger picture. But that's a tough loss to the Chiefs, though.
Yeah, the Chiefs can win games. Like, they can win any game. They can.
Right.
But they can also lose every game now, any game now, too. And that hasn't been the case for years. So it takes a little getting used to that. You don't know which version the Chiefs are going to get, or the Chiefs aren't just going to win again. They haven't lost this many games in 10 years or 8 years.
That's correct.
Or
no,
whatever.
You're right.
Yeah. So you start to wonder, okay, where are we at? There's a changing of the guard. It's happening. It's a matter of who's going to step up next. And Indy seems to be a team that's going to be in there, and they hold a ton of pieces in that conference.
And to your point, those trades they made yesterday means they smell blood.
Oh, sure. No, they're going for it now. Now, okay, I think you're putting too much stock in Daniel Jones that he's the guy. I mean, he's serviceable now, but what you actually did was you basically got a guy who's serviceable at quarterback, minimal serviceable. He's playing well right now. I don't know if that carries over in the playoffs, but then you have that contract and you could get these other pieces in and sign them. You got to go you got to strike when the iron's hot. When you see an opportunity, you got to make sure you go all in and win this thing.
And the AFC is wide open right now.
Yep. So. Pat, how did we feel about the Bills Chiefs?
Well, good morning, guys. Sorry.
Hi, Pat. How are you?
Hey.
I'm doing good. Hanging in there, guys. Hanging in there. Freezing up here in Pennsylvania, but
love it. Love it.
Chiefs, Bills. Yeah, I caught a lot of what you guys were saying, and I agree with Ernest. Let's do it in January. That's prove it time. I also think that the Chiefs are coming back to earth a little bit. That's just natural. I think somebody, on one of the shows earlier in the year, maybe described this time for Patrick Mahomes as that middle time like Tom Brady had, where won some championships when he was younger, then had a little bit of a down period, and then won some championships as he got older. That might be the mode that Mahomes is in right now, and maybe the Chiefs, can replenish and get some guys again. Kelsey's getting older. Some of these other guys are getting older around him, and then maybe they'll have a resurgence at some point. But it's definitely a down year for them. So I think, again, what I think you guys were saying, I think we're going to have one of these teams that we thought were going to be, kind of the elite juggernaut type team, Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore. One of those teams is probably not going to make the playoffs. And I don't know which one at this juncture. Baltimore's probably got the longest road to come back. But I think with Lamar in there, the way he looked last week against Miami is kind of what we expect him to look like. And if he continues that, he can almost take a team on his shoulders, despite the deficit that they're trying to overcome in terms of wins and losses. But yeah, I think I agree with what you guys were just saying. Buffalo looks good. They got to prove it to me in the playoffs. Chiefs, I don't know what's going on with them, except maybe they're just getting a little bit older, and it's tough to stay on top of the mountain, and they've got a tough schedule. And we'll have to see what happens.
I think his next two games are gonna tell us a lot more where they're at this season.
So, Pat, we just talked about the trade line deadline being yesterday. Sauce Gardner to the Colts. You got Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys. They also got Logan Wilson, Rashid Shaheed to Seahawks, Jacoby Myers to Jacksonville, and then the Eagles got Jalen Phillips and Jair Alexander. Any of these moves that's changed your mind on any of these teams?
Well, I think the Sauce Gardner one is the one because they gave up a lot for him, which you knew they would. This guy was Defensive Player of the Year, or Rookie of the Year. I mean, he first 2 years in the league, this guy was like the next coming of Darrell Revis. So, he's trailed off a little bit the last 2 years, but that could be a product of the fact that the team hasn't been good the last 2 years. And a lot of people. I was watching a bunch of the morning shows today on ESPN, and I don't know if it was Orlovsky or one of them said, well, he's got a lot more defensive pass interferences and those type holding calls and that kind of stuff in the last couple of years. But that happens when your team stinks. You start pressing and doing things that you might not normally do because you feel like you got to make an unbelievable play because you got to prop up the offense or whatever it is. So I still think the talent is obviously there with this guy. And I think Indianapolis, now they're giving up a lot for him, a couple first-round picks. But if he turns out to be, Darrell Revis Jr., then you got a great addition to that team. But I think like you guys were talking about, Daniel Jones is really the key. Is he going to keep ascending, or are we just getting a Sam Darnold in Minnesota version of him where everything is just clicking and it works for a year? I don't know. He didn't look real good against the Steelers last week. So that's really the key with me is does he keep on going on an upward arrow with that team? If he does, getting Gardner is a home run. That does put them in the Super Bowl conversation with me. The only other guy that you talked about, that receiver Rashid, did he go to Seattle, you said, Mike?
Yeah, he went to Seattle.
He's a young guy. The kid from the guy from the Raiders, Myers, I think a little bit older. So I like when you're trading for a young guy that is pretty good and potentially can get better. Those are the type of trades I like. With Gardner, young guy, good, really good, potentially get even better. Those are the guys I'm willing to give up picks for because you have a known quantity and the upside is still there. So if you're going to get rid of picks, go with the known quantity that still has an upside to them. I have no issue with that. When you give up picks and the guy's either older or maybe it's an injury issues or whatever, that to me doesn't make as much sense. So those are the two trades I think that might help those teams now and in the future. The rest of them, they could be stopgap type guys, but I don't know. I don't know. There just aren't a lot of guys where you're like, oh, the so-and-so got this guy and he got him to the Super Bowl, 7, 8, 9 games into the season. That doesn't seem to happen that much in the NFL.
The one that got me, and I'm scratching my head, is so Dallas gives up draft equity, first rounders, and gets Williams to basically be a run stopper, I guess. So essentially, when you break it down, you look at it, you got rid of Micah Parsons, and you pick up the first, and you trade the first for Williams, and now you have a run stopper in the middle. Like, at this stage in their game, I'm surprised they made that move because they're a long shot to make the playoffs. Now what you only lose by 5 points instead of 10 points.
I would have felt better about that trade if they'd won on Monday night.
Right.
Losing to Arizona the way they did, they're done. They're cooked for the
year. I mean, this guy isn't like a disruptor on a pass rush as much as a run stopper. You're your corners are still getting smoked back there by everybody. They're falling down in the end zone where Harrison puts a move on a guy and he falls down and breaks his ankles in the end zone, and even their own players are like, oh my gosh. So you have a lot of problems in Dallas. To even go down that path right now seems bizarre to me.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what your take
maybe
on that.
Maybe it's a long play for him, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's a good, decent contract. Who knows?
Yeah. I wasn't.
So one of the touching points from last week was Pittsburgh forced 6 turnovers to upset the Indianapolis Colts.
Where are we at with that?
This wasn't that big of a surprise to you, was it, Pat?
Well, I think I said my 2 biggest points with the Steelers are that their defense, and again, I said this last week, everybody depends on turnovers. Everybody does. The really good teams don't necessarily need turnovers. They're good enough to win without the turnovers. But obviously, good teams, anybody, if you give the ball away, that's going to detrimentally affect your ability to win the game. If you give the ball away 6 times, it's virtually impossible to win that game. Now, the Steelers they got 5 turnovers a few years ago against San Fran and still lost the game. So you can do it. But I said this defense really, really depends on turnovers, much more so, I think, than any other team in the league to really have a chance. Now, the Steelers got 6 turnovers. They turned it over once themselves, but they only won the game 27-20.
Yeah.
With 6 turnovers, you should be 42-10. So I primarily because I just go by the odds of things. They hadn't gotten a turnover in the previous 3 games. Indianapolis had only turned the ball over 4 times the whole year. So something was bound to happen. And again, it's just watching the Steelers as long as I have, you get a sense for, all right, I thought it might happen in the Green Bay game, but when it didn't, I'm like, all right, now it's definitely going to happen in the Indianapolis game. We're just going to have one of these freak games like we did against New England where you get a bunch of turnovers and you win the game. Indianapolis was I'm going to say basically dominating that game. Steelers go 3 and out. Indianapolis marches right down the field and scores a touchdown. Steelers go 3 and out. They kick a punt it, and the ball just bizarrely bounces in a way that hits the Indianapolis guy, and the Steelers fall on. Steelers didn't even score on that ensuing drive, but you had enough of that. All right, now it's going to be one of those wacky types of games where we get a lot of turnovers. So I don't know. I just had a sense that it was going to happen for them, and it did. And I also told you guys not to take Jonathan Taylor because that was going to be the one thing the Steelers were going to do is shut him down, and they did.
Pat knows.
But aside from those 2 things, I only get these feelings once in a while. So like this week, I have no idea what's going to happen with the Chargers. I think they're going to win just because the Chargers have so many issues on the offensive line.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you when my next feeling will be, and it's against the Chicago Bears, and that's in a few weeks. And we'll wait. I'll keep the audience waiting on that one. But that's going to be a ticket to the bank mortgage game.
Yeah,
they will the next couple of weeks. That game will be a take it to the mortgage game, but I'm going to keep everybody in suspense and not tell you.
We're here for it.
Yeah. I left that game more concerned with Steelers because 6 turnovers, you only win a touchdown, and you're right, Pat. That if you look at the numbers of the game, the Colts dominated the Steelers, but it's a turnovers game though, and like the Steelers, this is a weird team. They're 5-3 now, and it's strange, and they got a rough schedule coming up too also. So we'll see. Look, here's the thing with Steelers though, as weird as it's been this year, there's still a lot of upside. The defense could get better. Aaron Rodgers could play even a little bit better. And if so, they still could be kind of dangerous in the AFC. But it's been a really, really strange first half of the year for the Steelers, really honestly.
Yeah, you'll learn about teams now. Consistency is key now. So as you get into the second half of the season, which we're getting after your bye week, consistency. Are you putting a consistent product, even if you lose a game here or there by a score or whatever?
Yeah.
Are you consistent in what you're doing? Does the football look good? There's a difference between good-looking football and bad-looking football, and you should be hitting your stride, starting to hit your stride at this point, and maybe, the Steelers' defense might be able to take something out of this and hit that stride.
That's a good point.
Yeah, now let's go over the injury report currently in the NFL.
Boy.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, the NFC had another guy with a limb that was absolutely facing in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
so
you're talking so let's run down the quarterback. C.J. Stroud in the concussion protocol. Jaden Daniels dislocated elbow. They're thinking he might miss the season.
I heard a report that he may have only a couple of weeks, but why bring him back after being 6?
Why bring him back into how leave him in the game? That was wild.
Dan Quinn get fired for that.
That was a problem right there. Brock Purdy is still dealing with the toe issue in the running back game.
But is he really? Or
that's a question.
Yeah, that's a question.
That thing is weird, bro.
It's not weird.
And we've heard nothing. We've heard nothing.
It's an excuse.
Yeah, Swift has a groin issue for the Bears. They don't know if he's going to play or not. I'm hoping Quinshon Judkins, the Browns, I'm hoping he gets over his shoulder injury. Maybe Jake would have more insight on that, being a Browns fan.
He's good to go, he says.
But it looks like he's good to go.
He got the inside track.
Also, A.J. Brown still dealing with a hamstring issue. Garrett Wilson's expected to play. Puka came back last week, even though he injured his ribs. That guy's just an absolute monster. The one that you were talking about, Tucker Kraft, they lost him for the season. They got upset by the Panthers and lost one of their favorite targets in Tucker Kraft. The Packers did last week.
There was another trade to pick up Hawkinson. Did you see that? Did I see that?
Hawkinson? No. Vikings Hawkinson?
I thought they did.
No, I didn't see that. That'd be a huge trade.
They should have.
Okay, good. I'm glad that didn't happen because we played them this week.
What's his name for the Packers? Hunter. Not Hunter. What's his name?
Tucker Kraft?
Tucker Kraft.
Yeah.
That's a huge.
No, that was his go-to guy. You see what happened.
That's a. Well, we're not going to Super Bowl this year. Kind of move because that was his go-to
And we could talk about Jordan Love another time because he had a really bad game.
Yeah. Now let's get into our picks for week number 10, where we go over each and every game. The Thursday night game, Las Vegas at Denver. Denver is favored by 8.5.
Well, Mike, as I say, we are getting, like Noah just said, we're getting into that part of the year where you're looking for consistency and those types of things. So this should be a no-brainer. But my spidey sense is tingling that we got to go with the NFL, and just like Green Bay lost at home to Carolina, there'll be one or two games this week that make no logical sense as to why a team is able to compete. I have no reason other than just to say it's the NFL, and Vegas is a division opponent of Denver. I'm not quite on board completely with Denver. I think they're a very good team, but I still want to see more out of them. I just think there's a lot of points here. I'm going to take Vegas. I don't think they win the game, but I think this is just going to be one of those bad, 20 to 17, snooze fest type games that for whatever reason Vegas hangs in there.
I'm with you, Pat. Like, this Denver team feels like a fake hustle team to me, personally. They might be the worst 7-2 team I think I've ever seen, but, winners, look, you win. That is what it is. And I'm with you. I think the Raiders on the points here, the visual optics aside, too, also on top of that. Broncos do win the game, but the AFC West, not for nothing, a lot of people don't talk about this nationally, but those four teams hate each other. There's some real hatred with those four teams. So this can get really ugly. So give me Denver to win this game, but Vegas up in the points.
Yeah, something like this on a Thursday night. It is at Denver. You would like to see. Okay, this tells a lot for Denver. They should win this game. They're supposed to win this game. You're at home. It's a Thursday night game. Your team's playing as good as they have in years. They should win this game, but like Pat said, it's a divisional game. This is one of those games where you scratch your head and you're like, okay, they're not there yet. Until they win this one, then maybe you have more confidence that they can win the games they're supposed to. But with the points, I'll take Vegas.
Yeah, I'm actually the only one on the show going to pick Denver because I said last week I'm not picking Vegas anymore.
Because you're stubborn.
After a crushing loss, they had a crushing loss by 1 point to the Jaguars, even though Brock Bowers came back and had 3 touchdowns last week. Wow. Now they've lost Jacoby Myers, who was their biggest wide receiver weapon. So I'm going to take Denver at home, again, favored by 8.5. Now we moved on to the Sunday early game, and that is Atlanta at Indianapolis. Indy favored by 6.
This is a huge, huge game for Indianapolis.
I agree.
It's a humongous game for them. If they somehow lose this game, I think I talked about this last week, and I'm not wishing this on Indianapolis. I don't have anything against them. But could you see this team start to be like 7-1? Now they're 7-2. Now they're 7-3.
Oh.
Now and all of a sudden
they play KC.
Yep. And they just not completely fall apart, but really start having some doubts about maybe we weren't that good. They're one of those teams to me that has to prove it, Mike. They got to prove it to me that they're this juggernaut that everybody had them, and maybe they are. I'm not really trying to like I said, wish anything against them. But this is a tremendously huge game for Daniel Jones and that team to get on track. I think they will. But if Atlanta somehow pulls off an upset, or at least keeps this game really, really close for a long time, and there's some doubt lingers, starts creeping in with Indianapolis, it'll be an interesting second half of the season for them to see if they can hold it together. I'm going to take Indianapolis here, but I think this is the biggest game of the year for Indianapolis.
That is excellent analysis, Pat, because I am with you. In fact, I'll go and say it. This is a must-win for the Colts without question. Because here's the
season
thing.
over. You lose
because
this season
if
over.
you lose this game, you're now 7-3, creeping doubt.
Yeah, season over.
Your next opponent is Kansas City Chiefs.
Season over.
So you better get the job done here. And Atlanta is the friskiest of friskiest teams there because they almost beat New England this past weekend. So they are capable of throwing a weird haymaker here and there. They beat Buffalo a couple weeks ago. So this is a game not playing. This is a neutral field game on top of that too. Also, Indy better win this game to get back on track because if they lose this game, I'm with you, Pat. The mental aspect, and on top of that too, also for the standings, they are right now tied with 3 other teams in the conference for the number 1 seed. So if you are want to be taken seriously, you better win this game. So, and I think they will win this game. But this is a game I'm really, really keen on to watching this weekend.
So I think the coach plays a key factor in this. So Shane Steichen. Obviously, he falls off the Nick Sirianni coaching tree, and they've been in these spots before where, we're calm, straightforward, where it doesn't seem like a roller coaster team where they just go out and they play football and on to the next game. They don't get hung up on things or whatever. I think that's the key here. And if he can carry that over with that pedigree that he has, his coaching tree, and keep these guys even keeled, I think they go ahead and take care of business here with Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm going to take Indy in a must-win. Again, favored by 6. Now we move on to an interesting game: Giants at Bears. Bears favored by 3.5.
Ooh, Giants and Bears. I just don't believe in the Bears at all. I know they've got a winning record, but the tough one is trying to pick the Giants to go on the road and beat them. I just don't think it happens. I think the Bears figure out a way. I don't like the point spread, but I'm going to take the Bears at home.
Yeah, like I said, fake hustle. This Bears team feels like fake hustle to me. But they're playing the Giants. To me, the Giants lost their soul the minute Scott got hurt. Like, they haven't looked like the same team in 6 quarters. And, look, the priority, like I said, day one, it's about developing Jackson Dart. But having said that, he can't do it alone. The Bears are playing good football. Wacky finished that game last week against the Bengals. But you're at home. You're now, 5-3? You got to win this game. If you're the Bears and you want to be taken seriously for that 7th seed in the NFC wildcard picture, you better win this game. Give me the Bears.
Yeah, I like to go with who's the best quarterback on the field. And I hate to say it, I think the Giants hit a winner there with Dart. And if you remember, I said it last who I thought was the best coming out.
You did say that.
And I did. And Dart is showing that. And he has that drive in him to want to win games. I'm not sure that the level of confidence is there in Chicago and that quarterback and how confident he is in willing teams to win. And I think Dart has that, and it's scary. I think they're able to pull this one off.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bears at home in this one. Again, favored by 3.5. Now we'll move on to Buffalo coming down to Miami, where they're favored by 9.
I just think Miami played their one good game, a couple weeks ago, and I just think they're in free fall. They got rid of their GM, and Buffalo. I'd have to check the record, but I think they do play pretty well in Miami. 9 points is a ton. That's a lot of points on the road. But I just there's nothing redeemable that you can hang your hat on with Miami. There's just nothing there that I'd be like, maybe they can do this and that'll counter Buffalo. Or I think Buffalo wins it big.
Except this is a divisional game, and these two teams hate each other. And if there is a game to get up for, is this one for the Dolphins. They almost beat the Buffalo Bills Week 3 this year in Buffalo. So there's no doubt the Bills win this game. There's no doubt there whatsoever. But I think the Dolphins keep it closer, maybe get a backdoor touchdown late. So I'll take the Bills win, but Dolphins covered 9.
Yeah, you talk about getting up for a game and all excitement, and Mike Tyson said it best. He's like, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And I think that's the kind of scenario that we're looking at with Buffalo. This will be the first one that I'm traveling down. The kid and I will be wearing our Dalton Kincaid and Josh Allen jerseys down there.
Nice.
That's the only reason to see good football. Miami's not playing good football right now in any way. On defense, on offense, nothing. Nothing is good about their football. Buffalo plays good football. I think it's going to be the Josh Allen show again down in Miami, and I think this is a runaway for Buffalo easy.
Yeah, I'm going to take Buffalo on the road again, favored by 9. I think they win big in Miami. Baltimore now moving on to Minnesota. Baltimore's favored by 3.5.
Ooh, good game. This is a good game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm taking Baltimore just until they lose again with Lamar. I'm taking Baltimore, but Minnesota showed me something going into Detroit and beating that team. That's a statement. I mean, they're a wacky team because they've lost a couple games they shouldn't have lost, but I give that coach a lot of credit for getting that team ready to play Detroit in Detroit. That's never easy to do. So this should be a really, really good game. I'm going to take Baltimore, but Minnesota's a good team.
And there's also the unknown factor of J.J. McCarthy. You only had 3 games to watch this year so far. Up and down, one good game, one bad game, one good game. We'll see if this is the bad game or the good game coming up. I don't know. But we talked about earlier, a couple weeks ago, about the Baltimore stretch, the 6-game stretch we discussed. Okay, and why I think they'll come back and catch with the Steelers. They're 2-0 so far in that stretch. This is the toughest game of the stretch. If they get through this game, they should go 6-0 the rest of the way. So Lamar's back. It's in Minnesota, obviously, nice home advantage for the Vikings, but I just think the Ravens, they figured it out. And not for nothing, their defense is getting healthier, and they played better the last couple weeks. Albeit opponents are pretty bad, but still, you got to do a job. Give me the Ravens here.
I think this is the kind of game, if McCarthy and Jefferson start getting on the same page, it's going to be a problem for everybody, and I think that kind of continues this week. I think Baltimore is banged up, especially in the secondary with their safeties and a couple other spots. I know, Lamar, I still see him as a wild card. I still think he could get that bad game. McCarthy, he's trying to establish himself, and he gets a game at home after what happened, what they did in Detroit. I'm going to take Minnesota here in points.
Yeah, I think having Lamar back, obviously that makes Mark Andrews relevant again. I'm taking Baltimore on the road again, favored by 3.5. Now we're moving on to Cleveland at the Jets, where Cleveland goes in favored by 2.5.
Remember how I just said, ooh, good game? This is an ooh, bad game. I have no idea. When teams sort of purge themselves of guys, and maybe that's the wrong word to use with Gardner and Williams, and so it's like you're basically saying we're going in the tank officially now, like we're getting rid of everybody. That's when they actually play a good game. Like you might see the Jets actually play a pretty good game this week because they got rid of guys. I don't know why. Again, it's against all logic. I'm going to take the Jets at home just because. There's no pressure on them now to win. They basically said we're not trying to win anymore, and that's usually when guys relax and play good games.
A bad game that got worse because of the purging. I'm going to say here, I'll take Cleveland here just because the better defense. But the best bet, I'll give some advice here for you guys watching the show. The best bet here is betting the under on this game.
Under.
Oh, I absolutely disagree. The Jets They have not been great on defense overall, and then they trade arguably their 2 best defense players, some of the best defensive players in the league, and you don't have them on your team anymore. That there's going to be a huge gap there for Cleveland
Dylan
to
Gabriel's
run through.
Some points up. Dylan Gabriel, what people?
No, it's going to be Judkins, and he's going to
go
off. And
he's going to do it.
Yeah, so I'm going with Cleveland in the points. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with no on this one. I'm hoping for a big game from Quinshon Judkins. Again, Cleveland goes in favored by 2.5. I think they win big with the Jets. Now New England at Tampa Bay, where Tampa Bay's favored by 2.5.
This is another good game.
Yep.
I'm going venue. I'm going home venue here and taking Tampa, but I think New England gives them a good game. I think Tampa's coming off their bye week, so they should be rested. I like Tampa here, but this should be a good game.
Yeah, the Brady Bowl. Look at this. The Tom Brady Bowl. And possible sneaky Super Bowl preview? Maybe. Probably not. I'm just saying,
Probably not.
Stop
with your nonsense.
They're playing well. You got to throw some scenarios here, of course. But here's the deal. New England's do a letdown. Now, granted, they almost had that last week against Atlanta, but they won that game on a missed PAT. But Tampa off a bye. They should be getting guys back this week after all the injuries. So I'm going to take Tampa win this game. I think Baker's back and they get rolling again.
Yeah, I'm with Pat on that venue thing. It's an issue. It's a pain playing in there, and it gets hot, and you're in the sun, and the cannons are going off, and all that business.
You love that stuff, don't you?
I absolutely hate it. And then you have the factor, Todd Bowles, no matter what, he picks on these young quarterbacks, and I've seen it firsthand, what he was doing to Jalen Hurts early in his career. And if they haven't seen what he's done, it's hard to get up to speed for him. He's going to throw them curveballs. I think it's going to cause a problem. I think Tampa's defense wreaks havoc, and Tampa wins this one.
I think even though that Tampa had the bye week last week, they're still hurting, especially their wide receivers.
Yeah.
Well, they're hoping that I think that Chris Godwin can play in this game. Just because of that, I'm going to take New England on the road. Now we move on to New Orleans at Carolina. Carolina favored by 5.
Is Carolina? Carolina, I think, has a winning record.
They do.
Are they
5-4.
one of the most bizarre winning record teams after 9 games in NFL history? They got hammered by somebody 2 weeks ago, and then go up to Green Bay and win. I mean, it just shows you how wacky the NFL is. But I'll take Carolina here. Maybe the magic keeps going. They're at home. And I go no other reason other than just that they're one of those bizarre teams that actually has a winning record, and we don't think they're that good. So I'm going to take them.
We're approaching mid-November, and the Carolina Panthers may have a 6-4 record. This is insane. Like, we're approaching Thanksgiving, and they have a winning record, and they are in a playoff race right now with Bryce Young quarterback. And you know what? They're going to win this week. Give me Carolina.
Yeah, they probably already smoked the over-under wins for the season, guaranteed. They're already over that number. They weren't supposed to be playing football like this.
I think they're like 7.5 or 6.5. Yeah.
You got to start talking Coach of the Year if this continues with
Absolutely.
what he's doing over there. New Orleans, they're just not. I mean, could you imagine that New Orleans is trending in the wrong way, why Carolina is trending upwards at this pace? You couldn't imagine that'd be the case at this point in the season. New Orleans isn't putting anything together yet. I'm going with Carolina here.
Yeah, I think we're all going Carolina at home, again favored by 5. Now Jacksonville travels to Houston, where Houston is favored by 1.5.
Yeah, this should be another pretty good game. Now Stroud, if he's out, I'm not a big Miles Davis
Mills.
Miles Davis.
Yeah, he doesn't do it for me. So I'm actually going to take Jacksonville here. I normally would not, because this is when the backup quarterback, being at home, playing pretty poorly last week, would actually have a good game. And I just can't really jump on Jacksonville's bandwagon completely. They get you up and then they disappoint you. But I think they got to win this game, so I'm going to take Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm going to entrust the Jaguars, put some trust this week in them winning this game. I do not trust them one bit. That 5-3 record feels a little fraudulent, but it is what it is. Give me a Jack this week. But look, if you want to be a team that's taken seriously to be a playoff team, you better win this game. And not for nothing, if you win this game now, close lose again, not for nothing, they're only game back.
Yeah, a couple weird things. Davis Mills, so when he was the starter that year, I went in on him on cards, and I have a pretty reasonable size. I might have one of the best in the world, actually, because nobody collects Davis Mills, and I have his cards. That guy has a neck higher, like Steve Grogan had a long neck for the Patriots. This guy's neck goes forever. It looks like his head's going to pop off when he gets hit sometimes, but he's not been great, and not even, I don't even know if you could call it serviceable. He's actually if they didn't start a quarterback, they'd probably be in a little bit of a better spot. Jacksonville should be able to win this, and it's just when Houston was starting to play a little bit decent, but Jacksonville will just handle them here.
Yeah, I like Jacksonville. The addition of Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas Jr. is uncertain but should play in this game. Obviously, they lost Travis Hunter for a couple of games. He's on the IR now. But when those three get back, this is going to be an exciting young team. I'm taking Jacksonville on the road. Now, Arizona at Seattle, where Seattle is favored by 6.5.
This is great.
Seattle doesn't play as well at home for whatever reason as they do on the road, but Kyler Murray's still out. Jacoby Brissett has done a good job, a decent, serviceable job for Arizona. Oh boy, I'm going to take Seattle, but I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona gives them a game. But I'm taking Seattle.
No, I don't blame you. Arizona's very frisky too, and the divisional games will get very weird, especially NFC West. But if we're talking about in a very fluid MVP conversation right now, we got to throw in Sam Darnold's name to the hat, too, also. He had a phenomenal game against Washington Sunday night. So I think Seattle's for real. I think they're a very dangerous team. Give me Seattle win this game and the cover slightly at 6.
Yeah, so they're talking about, like, okay, Brissett, I believe he's a Dwyer guy, right?
Yeah, he's from here.
Yeah, right here. So he's one of the best players ever come out of Dwyer. He can win games. He's a guy who is serviceable, and he can win you games. And I've always been of the opinion that Kyler Murray's up and down. I think you get a little more steady product with Brissett, and it might not have as much of an upside, but also he doesn't seem to really going to cost you a game. But this is a tough ask for them to go into Seattle and win this, even as bad as Seattle has been at home. They're better on the road. I'm going to go just out of feeling. I'm going to take the points in Arizona.
Yeah, I'm going to take Arizona on the road also. I think, Marvin Harrison Jr. showed what he can do the other night.
He's playing better now. Better.
And they also have a really good tight end, too, for Arizona that I'm going to take them for the upset on the road. Now I'm moving on to the Rams at the Niners. Rams go in favor by 3.5.
Another good game. I'm going to take the Rams here. The Niners have been playing good. They've been playing good with a patchwork offense and defense, guys getting hurt. Going back to that Purdy thing, I think Purdy has to be healthy by now, and I give him a lot of credit because he's staying low. He's not – I mean, I don't know what he could say to the media or anything like that, but you got to think he wants to play. So I give him credit for kind of laying low while this is all going on, but – at some point, I think Mac Jones just had a bad game, and maybe this is it. So I'm divisional. I don't think the home venue means anything. The Rams know how to win there, so I'm going to take the Rams.
So you talk about Coach of the Year conversation. I think Kyle Shanahan right now is my number one because what he's done this team at 6-3 with all these injuries. Fred Warner's out for the year. Purdy's been out since week 2, week 3, and they're 6-3 in the middle of this race is impressive. But his deal, the Rams are the better team. Now, the Niners did beat the Rams, actually, same situation where they had injuries and still beat the Rams on the road. But, the Rams right now are cooking now. They're healthy. Matt Stafford, another guy in the conversation for MVP. I just think the Rams, to me, right now, if I had to do a rankings of the teams in the NFC, I think after Philadelphia, number 2 is the Rams. For me, so give me the Rams to cover this game.
Yeah, a lot of people are putting the Rams at number 1 ahead Philly, and
you got to beat the champ first.
You literally forget that we just beat them this season.
You don't get to cut the line until you beat the champs.
There you go.
Give me the Rams.
No cutting the line. But Stafford is playing great, so if he stays healthy, it'll probably be a rematch, Philly and LA in the playoffs, probably to go to the Super Bowl. I'm guessing the way they're playing right now. But yeah, San Fran. They're going to have a quarterback controversy coming up and some other things. I'm going with the Rams here. They are. They are going to have one.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams. Puka is back. He showed that he's one of the top 2 or 3 wide receivers in the game last week.
What a grinder.
They also obviously have Devontae Adams, too. If those two can stay healthy, I think the Rams are going to go far. I'm taking them on the road against the 49ers, favored by 3.5. Now we move on. Detroit at Washington. Detroit favored by 8.5.
A lot of points there, Mike. A lot of points. Detroit really disappointed me. That might be one of the most disappointing losses of the year.
Agreed.
Last week at home against Minnesota. You don't usually see that out of a Dan Campbell team where he's just out-coached. Washington obviously losing Daniels. Now they got to go back, I guess, to Mariota, I think, is their backup. I got to go with Detroit here in a bounce back. But something's going on with them. I just don't see, and I think we said this last year. They had so much things geared up for last year, and then they get beat by Washington, and I think it took a little something out of them. They're still a very good team, and they got a lot of talent. I don't know if they cover, but I'm going to take them against Washington.
Yeah, I'm with you, Pat.
Losing Daniels is too much.
They made me look bad last week. My lock of the week last week, I was telling everybody. The Lions beat Minnesota. Lock of the week. Take the points. 8.5 points. They'll cover. Not only they not cover, they lose the game outright. So, but I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna revisit that same point again this week. I'm gonna go back to the well. Detroit. Lock of the week over Washington. No Jane Daniels. Washington's banged up. They'll cover 8.5 points here against. Is it 8.5 points?
8.5.
Yeah. Give me Detroit wins
so
this game.
Detroit,
they better bounce back here.
I'm starting to figure out Detroit in the way their head coach. They follow the leader, their head coach, and their head coach is always big on these stories and underdog and things. This one sets up. Washington went in there and knocked them and took them off the pedestal from what they thought was going to happen and on their way in the playoff. Washington did that to them. This thing is going to be the worst revenge game anybody has ever seen. Mm-hmm. One of the worst you'll ever see. This might sound crazy.
Okay.
Detroit wins by 30. I really feel this way. This is going to be one of those games that gets away. Your quarterback's he's out. You don't even get any production from him. And Detroit is absolutely, they circled this game. But I just can't find it. I think Watt is too disruptive, and Pittsburgh wins this one.
Yeah, losing Alt and the running game is still struggling, obviously, without Hampton. They don't know when Hampton's going to come back. I have Kadani on one of my fantasy teams. I'm not going to start him this week. I'm going to take Pittsburgh on the road. How do we feel about this, Pat?
All right, this is one of those games that I don't have a great feel for. So one of two things are going to happen. The Steelers are going to continue, get several turnovers, and win this game. They do seem to win in L.A. a fair amount, either against the Rams or the Chargers. You'd have to look at their record, but just my general recollection is they don't do bad out there. But if the Steelers lose this game, it'll be because the Chargers are able to run the ball. And as wacky as that sounds, that they lost both their tackles, that's what'll happen. It'll be something nutty like, we shut down Jonathan Taylor last week, and then I don't even know who the Charger running back is.
Who is it now?
Nobody. Yeah. And then he'll have a great game. So if the Steelers lose, it'll be because they get the ball rushed down their throats. But if they win, it'll be another 3-4 turnover game, and Herbert throws a bunch of interceptions or something like that. I'm leaning towards Steelers in this one because, like I said, my eye is more on the Chicago game a few weeks from now. But I'll take the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm now Monday night. We're moving on to Monday night's game. That is Philadelphia at Green Bay. Green Bay favored by 2.
This should be actually a really good game because I know Green Bay's got to feel embarrassed by losing to Carolina last week. They're at home. They're going to be up. But this is where a championship team goes into a hostile environment like the Eagles have done already in several cases and just finds a way to win this game. I think it'll be a relatively low-scoring game, like 16-13 or something like that. But I think this is maybe the start of the championship run again for the Eagles and a statement game. And I think Green Bay is going to give them a good game. But this is where the champs show why they're the champs, and I think the Eagles win.
See, this is why I'm so mad that they lost to Carolina last week, because had they won that game, the hype is going to be even bigger. But because now they lost to Carolina home, especially too, it's like, okay, now this Green Bay team seems very fraudulent now. So in no way should Green Bay be favored in this game whatsoever. Okay, Philly's coming off a bye, number 1. Okay, they're the better team, number 2, and the Packers lose probably their best player on offense, not named Jordan Love, right now. This can get ugly, honestly. I think it's getting really ugly. I know Green Bay will show up for the game. The defense may make some plays here and there, but ultimately Philadelphia they made some big trades this week, and I just think, as Pat said, now's the time you see teams rise to the top, and I think Philadelphia will do that. They'll win and cover.
Yeah, everybody's forgetting. The Eagles did acquire Alexander.
Jair Alexander, yep.
And he's a Green Bay guy, so he's going to be coming in and hopefully contribute on the outside, on some of those one-on-one matchups. But Green Bay lost their number 1 target. I mean, Love was leaning on that guy for everything, and you're just not going to get the separation or the catch radius with the backup tight end, whoever that might be. Philly had an edge. Brandon Graham comes back this week. He's going to be playing and contributing a little bit. And then you add Phillips attacking from the edge. I think this is where Philly continues to keep that stride, and they go in and they handle Green Bay. Again, you talk about the best quarterback on the field. Jordan Love, he threw some bad stuff last week. I mean, you could talk about losing that game, but he made some plays that you just scratch your head at.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see how he steps up on the big scene. This is a pretty big thing. But, yeah, again, the Eagles, they haven't played. This will be 15 days you're playing on Monday night. This is a long time off. So, yeah, go Birds.
Yep, I'm taking the Eagles to win big at Lambeau in this one. That's, again, the Monday night game. Those are our picks for the week. We'll be doing quick picks in just a few minutes. While we have Pat on the phone, I didn't want to talk about this without him because we don't really know a lot about hockey.
No.
But the Florida Panthers right now are struggling. They're 6-1, coming off a big loss to the Anaheim Ducks yesterday, marking their 4th straight loss to Anaheim. And during the game, Florida fell behind with 5 unanswered goals in the 3rd period. Bobrovsky is not doing well. He's allowed 7 goals, a season high in Tuesday's loss. It was his 5th start in the last 6 games in which he allowed at least 3 goals. Are we worried right now about the Panthers, Pat?
Absolutely, Mike. I talked to my son, who's as you guys know, is more of a Panther fan than I think anybody alive. They're in last place. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this team. I know a lot of guys got paid, and sometimes you have a sort of a setback. Like guys just don't feel like putting in the effort and all that kind of stuff. But this is a very high quality team. This isn't a bunch of radical free agents that are completely me guys or anything like that. They're really really a good team, and I really didn't think paying these guys was going to have any kind of a detrimental impact on them. Yeah, you mentioned Bobrovsky. He's getting older, and he a couple of years ago, 3-4 years ago, he had stretches like this where he gave up a lot of goals and a lot of bad goals. But I thought we were kind of over that. Now, being older, maybe it's just an age factor with him, but you never saw the Panthers. I don't even know if last year if they got beat 7-3 by anybody. Mm-hmm. And those were not empty net goals. So I have a high level of concern. I think if Brad Marchand was not on this team, they might not have won a game yet. So they got to get it together. Barkov being out hurts, absolutely. But Barkov goes through seasons where he's out for big stretches every year. So just not having him is not an excuse. They're used to playing without him for big stretches every year. So it just can't be him. There's got to be something going on with these guys that they got to turn the light on here fairly quickly. Early November. But you get into late December and you're still not really in playoff. They just need to get to the playoff. They don't have to win the division, any of that stuff. We've seen that if they get in the playoffs, they can do it. But you got to get into the playoffs. Yeah. You can't be 10, 12, 15 points out of the playoffs coming late December and then all of a sudden think you're just going to turn it on. There's a lot of teams that are playing good. Montreal, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. There's a lot of teams that are playing good that you might have thought weren't going to be that good this year. So they better get their head out of their rear end soon. Got to play the Kings, who just won their first home game. They got to play San Jose, who they should beat. Then they got to play Vegas, who's a tough team. They got to win 2 out of these 3 games and get back home and start winning some damn games. I don't know what Paul Maurice or whatever, what words of wisdom he's got, but something needs to be injected in these guys, or they're going to find themselves being fat and happy in last place and 2-time winners, and that's it. And that's a shame because they really do have the talent to win 3 or 4 cups in a row if they want to, but you got to want to. And that kind of display last night, that ain't going to cut it.
So I think that's something we can't overlook, and is that, okay, so you win the Stanley Cup, you play until June, and everybody else is done when? May,
April 1st, okay.
And then you have a short season, you come back, and you do it again. Mm-hmm. There's got to be some fatigue at some point, okay? So then you get to the point where you're fatigued, where you're spending 6 weeks or 8 weeks less with your family than everybody else is, and the other things on vacation or relaxing and recovering, right. And you're playing that much more hockey, and you got to go back at it again, and then you combine that with the fact that you just won 2 Stanley Cups, and how much weight does the third carry? I get it, but I think the fatigue sets in, and I think that's what we're talking about here.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing, especially in the NBA too. Also, that's why you don't see as many dynasties anymore because it's the same situation. Yeah. And for context, real quick, they are right now in last place in the Eastern Conference now. Now, having said that, they're only 6 points away from first place in the East. So there's still a lot of figuring out there. There's still a lot of positioning going on right now, 1 month into the season. So I'm not overly concerned yet. I said before the year started, the goal here for the Panthers is to forget about seeding, just get in. And look, this is the 4th year in a row. They've done 3 years in a row where they've played into June. Remember, they lost the first year to Vegas.
Yeah,
then won
a lot of hockey.
So they play a lot of hockey. Yeah. So the whole thing, fatigue is a real thing. Mm-hmm. Just get in, get guys healthy. Who's out now? Is Kachuk out till whatever?
Yeah.
So February? So once you get them back, I think they'll be fine overall. But is there concerns in the short term? Yes. Am I confident they'll turn it around? Also, yes.
Yeah, I'm hoping for our hometown Panthers. I think all of us could agree we're Panther fans and we're rooting for them to come back. Now let's talk about sports betting picks of the week. Might as well move on to sports betting. I have a pick for you for tomorrow night's game. I picked the Broncos to win against my Raiders. I'm taking a Genty touchdown after the bye week. I'm hoping that rookies usually perform better, and I'm taking Ashton Genty to score a touchdown. Bowers over 5.5 5.5 receptions. I think that one is the easiest one. R.J. Harvey over 20.5 yards for the Broncos. He isn't the starter, but I think this guy gets a lot of touches too, especially around the end zone. And that bet right there is plus 750. You bet 25 to win 212, and you're probably going to get a bonus bet on that too, so you could put that up to at least 225. So that's my sports bet of the night for tomorrow night. What about you, Ernest?
Well, I'm gonna have a get-rich scheme here. I'm gonna try here. There we go. I'm doing something. I'm doing something here I would never ever do normally because I'm done betting spreads. However, I'm gonna try this out. This for the value. So hear me out here. It's a 7. I think it's a 7-legger here.
Watch him hit
this. So here we go.
Hit this.
Raiders plus 9 against the Broncos tomorrow night. Okay. Dolphins plus 9 against the Bills. Okay.
Wow.
There we go.
Buccaneers.
Sorry you lost your parlay.
I know. Buccaneers minus 2.5 over the Patriots to win. The Browns minus 2.5 against the Jets. The Seahawks minus 6.5 against the Cardinals. The Lions to cover 9 points against the Commanders on the road. And then your boys on Monday Night Football plus 2 against the Packers. You bet $100, you make $9,256.
Okay.
And 32 cents.
Hey, can I borrow $100, Ernest?
Sure.
Just give it to me.
I'm gonna lay $100 bill on fire. I'm going with something simpler. I am that confident about the Detroit situation and them going into Washington. I'm going with the alternate line. I haven't seen what it is. I couldn't pull it up right now. But I'm gonna try whatever the maximum alternate line, whether I could get Detroit minus 21 or something. I'm taking that.
I don't hate it.
And I'm gonna print money. That's what I'm.
I don't hate it at all.
Okay, Pat. Anything sports betting wise?
Well, I mean, if you guys followed me last week, you would have made a lot of money if you went the opposite of what I said.
Do that again, Pat.
I said Toronto was going to win. I said Clemson was going to win. And I think I had the Panthers losing at home to – I thought it was New Jersey, but it was Dallas. So I lost all those. So do the opposite of what I'm going to say now. Clemson's playing Florida State, I think, this week.
That's right.
Florida State up and down, too. Clemson's defense is historically bad. They're one of the worst college defenses I've ever seen. Giving up 46 to Duke and losing at home for the first time since 1980 is unheard of for a Clemson team. I'm jumping all over Florida State. I don't care what the line is, and go with the over. Whatever the over is in that game, it ain't enough because Clemson's defense can't stop a cold. So that's my big bet for this week.
Pat, I'm so glad you brought Clemson. I have to ask you before we get out of here. Your thoughts on Dabo's post-game press conference last week?
I think Dabo is finally realizing that this team actually stinks, and he was very defiant for the first few losses, and now he's just sort of becoming whimsical and just like, I don't know, maybe they're going to fire me. I don't think they're going to fire him, but I think what's going to happen in this offseason is they're going to say, Dabo, you need to start using the transfer portal a lot.
Yes,
and you need to get rid of these 2 coordinators, and hopefully the quarterback that they got, because Klubnik's gone, thank God, whoever the backup is now is somebody that can actually hit a receiver on 3rd and 5 and get a completion. So I think they're going to tell Dabo, it's time to start changing your philosophy a little bit.
I agree.
And maybe they'll listen to him. I think Dabo likes Clemson and wants to stay there, but he's not stupid. He has to know that this ain't working, and you got to start doing some radical things here with this team. The expectations are just way too high to be. This team ain't even going to make a bowl game this year. I mean, with number 4 in the country in the preseason and not making a bowl game, they got to make some changes. I don't think Dabo gets the boot, but I think if they have another year like this next year, he's going to.
I agree with that. Yeah,
quick shout out to a local player, a college player, Chauncey Bowens from Benjamin. The running back actually scored the go-ahead score against Florida this week.
That's
so
awesome.
shout out to Chauncey. Yeah, the local home
Georgia game
kid.
too.
Great
Nice.
kid. Yeah.
Well, now let's move on to our favorite segment of the show, and that is called Quick Picks.
We have to break the record here.
Okay, let's move through them quick. Thursday night's game, Las Vegas at Denver. Denver favored by 8.5.
Denver wins, but Vegas covers.
Same with that.
Yeah, I'm going Denver.
Taking Denver at home now. Sunday morning game, Atlanta at Indianapolis. Indy favored by 6.
Big game for Indy. I think they win, but I got a little trepidation there. I'm worried. But I'm taking Indy.
Must win for the Colts, and they do it. Give me the Colts.
I'm taking Indy.
Colts in a must win. Giants at Bears. Bears favored by 3.5.
Going to take the Bears, but this is not a strong pick. I don't like either one of these teams.
The Bears are a weirdo team, but the Bears will win this game.
Yeah, Dart will be throwing darts. I'm going with the Giants.
You're right. Bears. Buffalo comes to Miami favored by 9.
I like Buffalo big here. I think Miami got their one win of the year a couple weeks ago, and they're folding 10. So I'm going to take Buffalo big.
Call me crazy. Dolphins on the points. Bills do win, though.
Yeah, Josh Allen for the win.
Yeah, you're crazy. I'm taking
Thank
Buffalo
you.
on the road. Baltimore at Minnesota. Baltimore favored by 3.5.
I think game of the week. I'm going to take Baltimore until Lamar proves me wrong. But Minnesota's a good team, so this should be a really good game.
Definitely a sneaky game of the week here. I'll take the Ravens, but this Vikings team is very dangerous.
Yeah, I'm going with the Vikings.
I'm taking Baltimore on the road. Cleveland at the Jets. Cleveland favored by 2.5.
Dog of the week. Cleveland should win this game. They have a little out than the Jets, but I'm going with the factor that the Jets have just purged themselves of their best defensive guys, so they'll probably play a really good defensive game. So I'm going to take the Jets.
This is a game we'll take a nap for, but I'll take the Browns.
I'm taking the Browns.
Taking the Browns. Now New England at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay favored by 2.5.
Another good game going venue here. I'm taking Tampa.
The Tom Brady Bowl. Give me the Bucks.
Tampa and those cannons.
I'm taking the Patriots on the road. Now New Orleans at Carolina. Carolina favored by 5.
Yeah, this one surprised me if Carolina crapped the bed and actually lost this game, but I don't think they can. New Orleans is that bad. I'm going to take Carolina.
Where in the world we see a 6-4 Panthers team? We are. Give me the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm with James Taylor, and in my mind, I'm going to Carolina.
I love that song.
I like that.
I love that song, and I'm taking Carolina at home. Jacksonville at Houston. Houston favored by 1.5.
I'm very, very wary of this, but I'm going to take Jacksonville.
Yep.
They've crushed me a lot, but they got to win this game. Stroud's not playing. They're a better team. They should win.
Take a Jags seriously. Win this game. Give me Jags.
Yeah, I'll take the Jags.
Jaguars. Now moving on to Arizona at Seattle. Seattle favored by 6.5.
I'm going to take Seattle, but Arizona's got something with Jacoby Brissett. I think they keep the game close, but Seattle wins.
Yeah, Seattle too, but Arizona can definitely make things a little weird.
Yeah, I'll take Arizona to cover.
I'm taking Arizona for the upset. Now Rams at 49ers. Rams favored by 3.5.
I really like the Rams here, and I don't know why. 49ers are a good team. A lot of injuries, but I just think the Rams, revenge game for them after losing at home, so I'm going to take the Rams.
Niners been a great story this year, but the Rams are cooking now. Give me the Rams.
Yeah, Rams are playing good. I'll take the Rams.
We're all taking the Rams. Detroit at Washington. Detroit favored by 8.5.
No logical reason to take Washington here. Detroit should absolutely spank them. I'm going to take Detroit.
Detroit by 50.
I don't know if Pat and I have ever been this far apart in our pick. Detroit's going to win big.
Detroit by 100. Now Pittsburgh at the Chargers. Chargers favored by 3.
Nothing to base this on. I just think the Steelers, for whatever reason, seem to play well in Los Angeles. So I'm going to say that they come up with some more turnovers or something and end up winning this game.
I should pick the Steelers, but they haven't shown me a complete game this yet, so give me the Chargers.
Yeah,
Stay away, though.
I'm going to take the Steelers and Watt against some rookie tackle that's going to be in there.
Yeah, I'm taking the Steelers on the road. And now Monday night's game. A good one, too. Philly at Green Bay. Green Bay favored by 2.
I got to go with the Eagles here. I think this is where championship teams start making their run, and this would be a perfect spot. Everybody thinks Green Bay is really good. I think they're okay, but the Eagles are really good.
Packers are frauds. Eagles are back. They're healthier, and this is their time to shine. Give me the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles here.
Fly, Eagles, fly. And that was Quick Picks right here on PBKC Picks.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Oh, jinx.